Gawlas, the resurrection and new life. It is, indeed, our time. Webpage www.mysoulcenter.com. I don't think I ever fully realized just how much energy clings to furniture until you remove all that furniture. We won't even mention the divine timing in everything. When I had to go meet with some of the board last week, I realized they have a yearly old furniture pickup that happened to be happening on the 23rd of this month. The moment I heard that, there was a swooshing energy that went through me that said, now is the time to get the new furniture that has been on my heart pretty much since I got here. My mother's stuff was 19 years old, looked it and worse, felt it. But until we started putting it out at the curb yesterday, I didn't fully realize how much of the sadness was caught in the fabric of the furniture, equating to the fabric of my mother's life. I could literally see the energy gather with the furniture and get put out to the curb, allowing its transmutation back into the ethers. It was the most intense emotion release I can remember having. Then again, I am not around a lot deeply sad and heavy energy to begin with. However, I do have to say, the day before, when I moved the chair my mother always sat in, from the living room out to the sun porch so I could vacuum and shampoo that area, I cried. A part of me felt like I was moving my mother out of her own home. Trust me, that feeling passed as soon as it came, but it was there for a moment nonetheless. Then I just started bitching to my mother for choosing isolation for so many years. The filth was just heartbreaking. I would have so helped her. My neat freak of a mother almost ended her life in filth. Truly ironic, really. Sitting in my newly furnished living room, my whole being went into reflection of all that transpired, starting with the middle of the night visit I had with my mother's soul energy on January 6th. Because that visitation was so real and I wasn't sleeping, but was woken out of sleep, I really thought she had died. I called the office here to have them check on her. My only true regret is that I didn't pursue that visit any further. I let it go when the office manager assured me she was alive and well. Thank God Rune and my daughter Michelle came to the rescue, so the end was radically different than it would have been. However, I do want to talk about my own body's transition through all this, starting with the day I left New Mexico. It has not been a pleasant thing to reside in since that day. We talk about ascension symptoms a lot. There is also, as I am experiencing, complete resurrection symptoms too. The week before I was leaving, my throat swelled up to the size of a plum directly at the vocal cord thyroid area. Granted, I had voice issues over the past years, but never swelling like this. It didn't hurt or stop me from swallowing or talking, it was just huge. I thought about going to my ears, nose and throat doc, but I didn't want to get distracted with myself when my mother's life was hanging in the balance. The day I left, my throat was back to normal. A complete change out in the energy frequency. Man, this is freaking rough. Then, the day I was leaving New Mexico, I was carrying my memory foam bed topper into my car and my right ankle completely gave out on me. Just for the record, I am understanding all this in hindsight. My emotional connection to my beloved home in the James was severed in that moment. It had to be, or I would have spent time missing that place, which has not ever happened at all. Of course, my ass fell to the ground, but I got up and was okay. Nothing hurt, until about 2 to 3 hours later. Keeping in mind, I was planning on leaving out the next day, not that day. The intense pain that started radiating inside my right leg from the ground up had me hobbling about. I could barely walk. I was planning on cleaning up so my landlady didn't have to, but that was not happening. Just trying to push the broom around brought tears to my eyes. And then, it all just pushed me out the door. I didn't even finish my house sale, or finish loading my car. Nope, away I went to my mother's world. The pain remained in my leg until I got a hotel room that night, then it went away as if it never happened. I think the only way I have of explaining this event is like when you have a frayed extension cord and the energy is no longer flowing but breaking out of its flow. Stepping into the hotel room allowed for the extension cord to fully release itself. Once I arrived at my mother's home, holy shit, something happened to my left knee. Bending it was the most painful thing I had experienced there. Even crawling into bed was painful. What the hell? Am I falling apart here? Squatting was no longer possible. There was no swelling, no bumps or lumps, just pain for about a month. At the same time, my big right toe went numb and I would get this freaking shocks into my big toe knuckle. Holy freaking hell, Batman. It too lasted for about the same month or so as my knee pain. WTF? So I do what I do, interpret the areas. Toes area support that keep you in a state of balance as you move through life. Big toe is a main support, right side is the emotional spiritual side. Okay, maybe this is what a plant feels when it goes into shock by being transplanted, root numbness with occasional stabbing pain and its flexibility. Left knee is the flexibility of moving through life. Well, I can't be flexible if I tried. My whole life and heart would strain solely on my mother and her well-being. What I find really interesting, if not completely odd, as my mother was admitted into the hospital, these two areas started to ease up and eventually ceased to be bothersome. But now, it all moved up into my back. OMG, I feel like an old lady here. At least the back was much more bearable than the toe and knee was. Once she came home from the hospital, then it was the arms, as the back was fine now. Especially the left outside area of the wrist. OMG, like my big toe, stabbing pain on occasion. Then weakness of the arms and forearms, primarily on my left side, was added in. Hey! That's not nice. I have got to live and help move my 220-pound mother. I need every ounce of muscle I could muster. We look at the arms, I reach for life. My left side, the flexibility needed to pull what I desired towards me, the wrist area, was going through an electrical overhaul like my supporting balance system did back in July and August. Jesus! And now, this past week, it is every knuckle on my right hand. At least it's not that stabbing pain, it just hurts, on occasion, when I bend them. The emotional grasp of the life I desire. The strength needed is still going through an overhaul, I suppose. Their weakness in the muscles of my arms is coming back, but like the flexibility in my left knee, slowly but surely. If I didn't know my body and hear its communication, I would have been running off to doctors myself. It's hard enough caring for a dying person, but when your own body feels like it's falling apart, holy shit, Batman. At least it did it in sections and not all at once, I suppose. But it gets better and stronger each day. Actually, the legs and back are just fine now, it's the arms still doing through its energy changes. Now, most of what I wrote here, I wrote yesterday. I woke up so tired, my body felt like a 500-pound weight and was more focused on finding a massage therapist. When I googled massage therapist in Tarpon Springs, Groupon was the first thing to come up. I have never used Groupon before, but hey, I am all about saving as much money as I can. Holy shit, there is a lady offering a 90-minute massage for $39 and Groupon had a first-time special and I could take 25% off that. So for $29 my body will be in heaven for 90 minutes. Unbelievable! While I was taking a shower, I heard my inner voice say, well, look on Groupon for a carpet shampooing place. Sure enough, I am getting all 3 rooms of rugs shampooed for $39 Monday. Holy heavens, I hit the lottery. Lol. When I called to book my massage appointment yesterday, I just fell in love with this lady. For anyone taking advantage of a Groupon special, especially with those doing physical labor like massage, tip heavily. Groupon keeps 50% of the money, so my new massage therapist will only get $19.50 for 90 minutes of her time and energy. Plus, Groupon holds back 20% of that until after her special ends on Groupon. In our 15-minute, wonderful conversation, She said so many times she has been simply surviving for years. Hell, at these rates, that's not even surviving. I know firsthand, massage is hard work. It is also a flooded market, so you have to be different and lean on that difference. So I told her, if she was open to it, I would help her with marketing her differences. If she was open to it, and she was, I would teach her my way of massage, and there is no one like me out there. I also offered her my ionic detox setup as a gift. She was thrilled and said she has been looking into getting one of those. Well, I had no idea why I brought it to Florida with me. I could have easily sold it with my massage equipment before I left. Nope, it was meant for her and to help her thrive. Then she offered me an add-on with my massage. She said she has this medical equipment and she will give me a session. She never really said what it was, but hey, I am game for anything. Lol. This morning, as I open up her website and look to see what sort of medical equipment she has, suddenly the reading I got last week, maybe I threw the baby out with the bathwater. On her webpage of services, Massage by Shirley Anna, at weebly.com, massage is a thing called vibroacoustic sound therapy. I never heard of such a thing, so I just googled it. Vibroacoustic therapy, VAT, uses sound to produce vibrations that are applied directly to the body. During the vibroacoustic therapy process, a client lies on the specially designed mat or bed or sits in a chair that is embedded with speakers or transducers which transmit specific computer-generated frequencies into vibrations. I am super freaking excited, and I am sitting here this morning, with the reading I had in my face, with this beautiful lady telling me about having a partner, being a part of a shop, using sound and tone therapy. She even said about creating my own healing deck of cards. Again, using the Doreen Virtue reference. First of all, I am not musically or artistically inclined. Baby and bathtub went the window. Until I had this wonderful conversation with a friend last night, and out of the blue she mentions my daughter Valerie creating art for healing cards. What is really interesting, and I put this out here for everyone to feel, own and be. After I hung up with my new massage lady yesterday, my team repeated over and over again, like they even need to convince me to do this. Lol, if you want to be more abundant, cause someone else to be more abundant. This morning, I realized they were not talking me into something. I was already joyfully engaged in what could be and how I could help her thrive instead of survive, but their way of saying, pay attention, something much bigger is going to grow out of this new relationship. Yay! I have got to tie this in with it, since this too is being placed in my face. Gotta love that team of mine. Lol. As I started to come out of the intensity of the grieving process, my team repeated a phrase they have said many times over the decades as they gave me a full example of how it applied to me now. If you knew you could have it all, would you first give it all up? My heaven, I gave it all away so that I can help my mother. My mother, in turn, gave all she had away, to me of all people. Lol, so that she could have it all too. We both died in our own way and both resurrected into a new, expanded field of life. And I cannot help but think of all the readings since being back and all the new powerful attributes available to the folks I connect with, and I had wondered, what's mine? It's only in using it do I ever realize the fullness of it, and I have a feeling the new is going to be revealed through this precious lady giving herself away on Groupon. I am going to close with a thought from A.A. Michael. This is our time. Let's live it out loud, together. I love you all so much, and million times more than that. Big hugs of new, resurrected life through and to all. You are each so magnificent, and I'm in love with you. Thank you, all, for causing me and my mother to be so incredibly abundant through these last few months. May your return blow your ever-loving minds. Lisa Gawlas, webpage, www.mysoulcenter.com. P.S. 2 days left. I have put together a special using the energy of 1, new beginnings, and 5, change, on my 15 and 30-minute reading sessions. save 15% through the 23rd, or another 5 energy the low, on 15 and 30-minute readings. Type in coupon code changes to receive discount.